She said, I'm
Kaylee,
stupid.
help!
She said it above the thing. Okay, there's this event thing. Oh, start. Got it. Start event.
Oh man, I'm so dumb. I was sitting here the whole time I didn't plug in my tablet. Hey everyone, thanks for coming. Thank you for your patience. Okay, cool. We're good to go.
Yes.
Hey everyone, so I'm gonna be painting this shawarma place for my demo. I'm gonna put it into special events chat, so you can all follow along if you want.
Yep. And then make sure you post your. I'll have you guys post your works in progress too, maybe. That way we can see it. I mean, I won't be painting along, but maybe I should.
Yeah, that could be your plain air roll for today if you want. But you've been doing so good, like doing it live.
I know. I've been going outside, kind of. So I'm gonna keep trying to do actual plein air.
Okay, so a little backstory. And first of all, today I'm gonna be showing a workflow that goes from a two value study into full color. So a little backstory. Back in 2017, I went to brainstorm school in person in Burbank, and I took a class with Jeremy Fensky, and he showed us a way of drawing with markers, and he would only use black, like one black marker and the white of the page to make an image, and he'll just like do a bunch of these, just like outside, and this way of thinking, like he would do the exact same thing when he goes to his like concept art, and like even in color, it's still like the same type of thinking. So I'm going to be like doing like a little bootleg version of this workflow. So after taking his class, my mind was blown, and I just started doing like a bunch of these. I had this pocket sketchbook that I would just bring with me wherever I go, and back then, I would take like a 3 hour bus ride to get to brainstorm like every day, and on the bus there's nothing to do except to like just draw. So a lot of these drawings are actually from like these were like from the window of a train. So I would get to a stop, the train would stop for like 30 seconds, and I'll just try to like draw as fast as I can in two values and try to make it readable. Yeah, a lot of like bus drawings. If someone
Is
interesting comes onto the bus, I'll try to draw them in two values. Yeah, yeah, Kim.
is the fancy art word for this notan?
Oh yeah. This is called notan. Comes from like a Japanese word that means like
Yeah.
balance of light and dark. I think that's it. That's what it is. But yeah,
Oh, Japanese.
so I'm gonna be trying to do a study like this with my reference. Then I'm gonna bring this into color. So this is my heavy paint setup. Uh,
Oh,
I
my live stream isn't going. I don't know.
oh, like the YouTube.
On the YouTube, yeah.
So the link I sent you is not the same
Oh,
link. Oh, so
oh, send me a new link then, because that's the link I sent
uh,
out.
just go to YouTube and just search Warrior Painters, and it should be the
Okay.
video
Okay.
that's playing. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, so this is my heavy paint setup. I used heavy paint. I started using it back in the early beta phase when it was like only one layer and it had very limited tools. And as Vaughn continued to update the app, I never really like learned the new tools. So I just stuck to the same ones like forever. So I only like these are all the, if you do the plus sign, you can open up all the tools, and if you put a little heart next to it, it'll show up onto your shortcuts bar. But I only like to use like mainly the draw tool, fill tool, um, rectangle tool, and that's about it. Like even the rake tool, I don't use
All
that
right.
much.
I'm really sorry, Lyndon,
Hmm?
but it was clear earlier and now it's not clear. So I'm not really sure what's going on. I don't know if it's your connection or mine.
Oh, I
Um,
mean, yeah, that's okay.
that's
We
okay.
got
Well,
enough people here.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
there's lots of people here.
yeah.
So
Thanks for coming, everyone. Okay, so I'm gonna be doing a black and white drawing to start with. Oh, and I like to use the RGB slider. But I'll explain this later on when I get to the color stage. So at this stage, I'm only gonna use 2 layers, and I'll just decisively uh, design like which areas are black and which areas are light. Oh, okay, I'm in hardcore mode. Sweet. So there's no undo. Oh, and if there's any questions, feel free to leave them into special events chat, and Kim will let me know.
that's true. Uh, they wanted to know the name of the artist that you referenced.
Oh,
Um,
yeah,
that told you about Notan.
for sure. So the artist is Jeremy Fensky. He's a concept artist in video games. I think he's like doing art direction now. Yeah, his stuff is really good.
Oh, jeez. Sorry, Lyndon. Brent just came by and dropped some tacos.
Ah,
Yeah,
oh man. Okay, I'm
that's
actually
that's the noise.
doing this in hard mode. There's no undo. But we've committed to this, so I'll
You got
just
this.
yeah. Yeah, so this stage of the painting is like figuring out a puzzle. How do I make this image read with as few tools as possible? Yeah, like even though I see all this information in the picture, I have to decide, is this black or is it white? There's only 2 options.
So, uh, how do you make these decisions? Like, what's the thought behind this? Because I feel like if you're distilling everything down to just 2 colors, there could be a lot of different decisions that can be made, right?
Yeah, exactly. So the first thing I ask when I start a painting is just what is this picture about? Where do I want people to look? So every decision I make is based on that decision right from the beginning. So in this, I'm looking at this and I want this car and like this area in the middle to be the focal point. So every decision I make is to make this area read, if that makes sense.
Yep.
So even though I see like all these details in the back, if I were to like give these attention and like use like my really limited tools to show this, I'm gonna, it's not gonna read. Like I'll lose the focus in this area.
That's cool. By the way, the blurriness, 100%, it was a me problem. So I apologize for blaming you.
It's okay.
Yeah. It's like the other day when when I farted, but I thought it was Brent, and I yelled at him.
Wait, how how do you?
I couldn't feel it.
Oh, it was
So I
it
didn't
was one of
feel
those
it.
sneaky ones.
Yeah, but then and I was like, this doesn't smell like my so I yelled at Brent. But then I did it and I could feel it, and then I was like, oh shoot. Sorry, that was me. Anyways, sorry guys. I I'm sure you guys all feel very much closer to me now. Please ask questions because uh, otherwise this is what you'll be subjected to. Anyways, man, it's so cool that like yeah, I mean I can see it. I can see um the picture that you're looking at in the notan that you're making.
Nice. I'm on the right track then.
Yeah. So you just carried around a regular sketchbook and a like a black like a Sharpie or like just any kind of black marker?
Yeah, so it's a sketchbook that would fit into my jean pocket, and
Hmm.
yeah, just like any thick black marker that would cover a lot of like page space really quickly. Yeah, just wanted to do things quick.
Yeah. Yeah, Noten is tough for me because I get a lot of kind of like decision paralysis. Like
Hmm.
there are so many things I could do. Um, so then it just kind of gets lost. But I think you're right. I just have to decide what is the focal point here.
Oh, and what I learned about drawing cars is that if you get the shape of the window about right, like these angles, like this angle, then you just oh, and the shape of like the light, and you just put in wheels, and it looks about right.
Nice. Um, so someone on YouTube, Powie, is asking, do you always start with Notan every time?
I do not. So this demo is just to show like the type of thinking that's going on in my head. Um, but like if I used to do like this daily paint challenge. Um, that like I have to, and I would like do a painting every day after work, like no matter what for a year. And during that time, I would just paint one layer, like go straight color. But I'm still employing like this type of thinking. But when I do plain airs with gouache, actually, I actually do paint like this in a way. So I would do this no-tan drawing with a really thin wash with like a burnt sienna or something. Then I'll, after I'm happy with it, I would go in with all the colors.
Nice. What's your favorite underpainting color?
Hmm.
It's whatever's on your palette, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
Obviously.
I'm really cheap, so whatever's like left over on my palette from the last painting, I'll just use that for my next underpainting. But because of that, like doing that, I found like a lot of combinations I wouldn't think would work before. Like I would use this lime green underpainting
Mhm.
for like a sunny day or something, and it actually works because everything I'm painting on top of it feels warm in contrast.
Yeah, I mean, I am in possession of one of your paintings where the underpainting is green and it's really pretty. It was from the Nicholas Ringo class.
Good times.
Um, it was good times. Jared Lipscomb asks, would you recommend a chisel tip marker or a brush pen for the notan studies? Or does it matter?
Doesn't matter. Whatever you like. Whatever feels good in your hand. Just make it fun for yourself.
Do you ever do more than one notan of the same picture?
Yeah. So if I have a lot of time, like on site, say I'm doing plein air, I would do a whole page of thumbnails before I go into the painting because I want to fail fast rather than like just like polish a turd. So if a painting doesn't work, it's usually because I failed in this stage.
Makes sense. Uh, Amy Erickson says, notan studies are such a great idea. OMG. Just let you know.
Wow. Hey Amy, big
Yep.
fan. Love your work.
That's my teacher. That's my instructor. She's a For those of you who don't know, she's an instructor for uh Warrior Art Camp. She's currently teaching an oil still life um class, which uh I am a part of it and deeply struggling. But it's it's fun.
Whoa, Warrior Art Camp. Tell me more. What other
Oh
classes do
yeah.
they offer?
So yeah, Warrior Art Camp is like it's I mean, I guess it's kind of similar to other online art schools like CDA or what's Brainstorm. Even Schoolism, where you can take classes with some instructors and they'll give you feedback on the homework. And I think the unique thing about Warrior Art Camp is that um, they it's the only one that I've been to actually that has office hours in which like just part of the class, and it's really cool to be able to talk to someone um, about your homework like in the middle of the week, so that you can fail fast and not have to polish a turd basically. Um, and yeah, I mean, I've this is my third class, I think. I took the gouache class. Oh, I guess it's my fourth class technically. I took the gouache class with Gia, which just finished recently, and that was really awesome. It's I don't know if Gia is here still, but people have been telling me like nonstop that my paintings have gotten better since I have was in your class. So between you and Amy, I think my art level went up. Um, so
Thanks, Kim. I'm still here, by the way.
I yes yes. So I guess I level up. I can't tell, but I since people are saying it, I'm gonna choose to believe them. So it's good. And yeah, like Warrior Art Camp, there's a whole bunch of different types of classes, background design, perspective with Mark Taihei, which I was a camp helper for, which is basically a TA. There's also, you know, there's a bunch of different classes. There's like an animation class, which is pretty cool. When you join Warrior Art Camp, you'll get access to the Warrior Art Camp Discord. And what's cool is that you can actually, in the public area, you can actually see other people's work if they feel like posting their work. And it's really neat to see other people's homework.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm signing up right after this demo.
Gia's gouache class, which, as I said, helped with my current level up that people have been noting, is actually going to open up for signups again on Monday, I believe, at noon.
Nice.
Yeah. So
All right. So I'm pretty happy with the nose hand. I think I can tell, like just squinting, what's going on in the image. So from here, I'm gonna move to color. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make a layer on top of this this black layer. So because I only erased for the white part, I didn't paint like white. These are like empty pixels. So what's cool about this is I can go on the layer underneath, and I can like pick my color, and I can just draw into it, and it won't destroy this value structure that I made. So I'm gonna do the same thing on top of this black layer. I'm gonna make a new layer. I'm gonna click on it. I'm gonna do clip down. So everything in this layer, all the colors that I pick, will only go into the black section.
Oh, cool.
So this is how a way to kind of like keep yourself on track without breaking this value structure that you made work already. Yeah. Oh,
Nice.
and I also realized that in hardcore mode I can't eye drop, so it's gonna it's gonna be hard.
Nice. So Color B asks, do you ever try to characterize your NOTAM studies or change some of the shapes, like how someone would do a caricature?
I'm not that advanced yet. I'm still thinking about like values and color and just trying to just match what I see. So that's more advanced. I'll develop that later. So over here is the color jitter slider. So right now that goes up to 100. Okay, so right now it's at 9%. So let me just explain real quick with a new document. My red. So here's my color wheel. So if I have red and my color jitter is at like a really low percentage, it'll stay within like this side of the color wheel. Like if I have it higher, it has a bit of a what do you call it, value jitter too. But if I like max it out, oh what the heck? Okay, just kidding. I guess Vaughn changed how color jitter works. Okay, never mind. But yeah, this color jitter is just a cool way to have more variety in your color. Oh, it's working for green. That's weird.
It's
Okay.
because you have more than one color that's like available with like the color sliders.
No, this is just the RGB slider. It's just like a different slider. So like red and green makes yellow. Blue and green makes cyan. Then like blue and red makes magenta. And I like this because it gives the most control from temperature. So I can just slide it a little bit and stay like really close in value, but have different temperature variation. Okay, but in theory, if I max out the color jitter slider, whatever color I picked initially, it'll go all the way around the color wheel. Like it'll randomly give me a color from everywhere on the color wheel. But if I keep it a low number, it'll give me colors analogous to the color that I have initially. Oh, please don't freeze. Oh.
When I use heavy paint, I find that saving often is imperative.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, now we're back here.
It's always fun to watch the painting come to life.
Yeah, it feels so good when you finish a painting and you watch the replay.
Although I have to say, there was one time for some reason there was a weird bug in one of the versions that caused like a big black triangle to appear every once in a while, and I had to watch the replay to see where the black triangle came up because I was like, maybe I can just go back a couple steps. It was right in the middle.
No.
I just had to paint out the black triangle.
That's unfortunate. That actually happened to me at work on Photoshop this week. I was so mad. I lost like 2 hours of work.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, it's one of the things about digital that's kind of interesting. It's almost like spilling water on your painting. It's like, you just it adds this element of kind of surprise that doesn't feel natural on digital. Sorry, I have a new kitten and he's getting into all my stuff. Okay, stop it.
Why don't you tell the chat the names of your cats? I think they're really interesting.
Yeah, so our first cat, I guess I should start with our first cat. Our first cat, who is bless his heart in cat heaven or hell, I don't know. Right now, his name was Waluigi. So when we got a new cat, we kind of went with the same theme. So our cat right now is named Denki Kang, like Donkey Kong, but with A's. So Denki King, we call him Denki for short. And then we just got a new kitten less than a week ago, and his name is Young Lonk. So like young Link, but with O, right, Lonk? Yeah.
Amazing.
And yes, and Young Lonk is proving to be very. I mean, I know that kittens are active, but man, this guy is extremely active. It's like it, I read that cats are supposed to sleep 23 hours a day, but I'm pretty sure this guy only slept 1 hour a day. Brent, I was sleeping really deeply last night, but Brent said that he was keeping him up all night. Like he was like going up on his chest while he was trying to sleep, going up on like my chest when he was trying to sleep. Like, he was just like trying to crawl on Brent's head. So, there's a lot of stuff going on with this guy.
That's cute.
Yeah, yeah. He's so this is our first like non-shelter cat, and he's a munchkin. Um, if you want to know what kind of munchkin, they're called kinkalos. I have no idea what the mix is, but he's very furry, and his legs are tiny. They're like, and our other cat has unusually long legs, so it's really funny looking at them together because there's, there's like a really tall one and a really short one. And our Danky, who is older and like 5 times as big, is actually really kind of beta-ish cat. Like he's very shy and like he's just very not dominant. And so this little kitten is, even though Danky, when he's annoyed enough, he'll just like stomp Danky down and hold him
No.
down with one foot. Like he'll just take one foot and push Lonk over and push him down. But like most of the time, Lonk is the one who is the aggressor. It's really interesting. It's interesting to see that, despite his uh, like bodily superiority, Lonk's character is much more dominant or assertive. Also, he does not clean himself, and I don't know why. It's so gross. But yeah, I'm hoping that he'll take a something from Danky's book and start cleaning himself better. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to invest in a lot of wet wipes. So, I'm watching you do this, and I see that you have like different I mean, as you were talking about, like different color temperatures. I guess what informs your decisions? Is it the just from the picture, or you using logic? Like because I know that it's not exactly, it's obviously not exactly the same as the picture. So, um, how do you go about deciding what color for, I guess, what the block it?
Right. So I look at the material, and the first thing I think about is like what's the local color. So I try to match that first. Then I think I the way I think is really simple. I just think, does this area need more unity or does it need more variety? So if I look at like this pavement, there's a lot of noise here. So for an area like this, I would have a lot of color jitter. Just I don't want to paint like every dot. So if I have a lot of color jitter, I can kind of just make it feel like there's a lot of stuff going on there instead of and I can do this very quickly. But for an area that's like really smooth, say like this part of the car or this sign, where it's just like one flat color, I would keep like fewer color variations so it doesn't look too busy.
That makes sense. So Masay says, "Hey, Linden, I
Hi.
have a gouache question. Do
Hey.
you ever work with a limited palette? I think I have too many colors in my palette, and so I get confused and end up using all the colors in one painting." Sad face. Um,
Yeah. So I think all my all my paintings are limited palette paintings. Most of the time, I try to probably I would start the painting with 3 tubes of paint plus white. Then I would kind of like feel it out, which areas are like, or what other pigments that this painting's like starving of, and if I feel really strongly about it, I'll just grab that paint tube from like my non-starter ones, and I'll just add it to the palette.
So I know that you mentioned that you don't use one of those gouache palettes with all the wells in it, right? Although I did see that you got the little one.
Yeah, I actually started using it recently because
Yeah.
I saw, well, Jennifer introduced me to it, and I thought it was really cool.
Yeah.
The old one with like double the wells, that was too many colors,
Yeah.
and a lot of them were drying up when I didn't paint as much, and I just felt bad. So this
Yeah, I think I personally also like the little one because the seal is better because it has its own, like the other one, the big one also has the seal on the top, kind of. It has like the rubber on top, but it doesn't seal as well as that individual seal that the little one has, where you can just push it down to make sure it's really airtight.
Hmm.
But yeah. Yeah, I definitely like the little one better. Did yours come with a water cup? Mine came with a water cup that I almost never use.
No, I didn't get that one because I saw from the photos like it some pictures like they didn't show, that. Do you have that piece of plastic that seals all the paint in? Do you know what I'm talking
yeah,
about?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
So in some pictures I saw that for the one with the cup it didn't come with it, so I didn't buy it.
Oh, I see. I see, I see. Yeah, no, I definitely need that extra rubber to seal the paint.
Hmm.
It's like, um,
Okay, so I'm gonna ignore this like super bright light here, but I like how this light source is affecting like the atmosphere around it, like this black space. So I'm gonna just pretend that all this bloom is coming from this shawarma and falafel sign. So I'm gonna have a slightly brighter area near the sign. And the way I like to paint, I don't like to use soft edges. So most of my painting I just do with the rectangle tool and like allow color jitter, and I do these values that are really close together in just in brightness, and I start slowly grading it out like manually. And when I do this, I find that my colors are a lot stronger because when I blend two colors together with an airbrush or something, I always lose saturation.
interesting.
Man, I wish I had eyedropper though.
So, does does your I know you paint gouache a lot. I mean, I have been with you while you're painting gouache, but also like just looking at your Instagram. Does doing heavy paint help you with your gouache studies at all, or is it like are they two completely different things?
Yeah, for sure. Heavy paint helped me a lot. I think heavy paint, at least when it first started out, it was the closest app that I used that felt like similar to traditional painting. At that time, there was no like it's the way I'm painting now. There's no crap. There's no airbrush. There's no gradients. It's just you pick a color and you put it down. And that's kind of how a lot of the gouache painters that I look at, that's how they paint. They just um, visualize a color, mix it, put it down, and that's that. They don't blend or anything. So I try to emulate that when I work in heavy paint, and hopefully it it'll translate like 1-to-1 in terms of experience to my gouache paintings.
I see.
But yeah, as you can see, I'm being like pretty loosey goosey with my colors. But because I have this layer structure, I'm not like destroying this value study that I spent time on in the beginning.
Yeah, that's cool. So these layers, I mean, obviously I haven't downloaded Heavy Paint in a long time, and people here will probably know because I actually don't even have layers on my Heavy Paint. So this is cool. I think I probably should download the most recent one.
Yeah, yeah. That'll make Vaughn really happy. Because for the longest time I was using like the oldest version too, and
Yeah.
he was making all these changes for us, telling me to test it out, and I will tell him, no, I still have the old one. It's perfect. Don't change it.
Yeah, yeah, it's hard, right? Because I think the most advanced thing on my current version of Heavy Paint is probably the fill gradient tool. It's like,
Oh
oh
man.
man, that's amazing.
What a time to be alive.
Oh yeah, I know. This is the pinnacle of technology. Yeah. So, did you go to school for art? Is it or is this like, are you just, a natural prodigy, Linden?
Both.
Both.
Okay, just kidding.
It's
But
true, guys. I've seen Linden's paintings from when he was 7. He's like better than me now. It's like crazy. What the heck? How do you even draw such a cute tiger and panda?
man, we should have like a sketchbook show and tell session again where everybody just show their childhood drawings.
I showed everyone all of my childhood drawings. So I feel like, man, you have that acrylic painting of the cat. But you have more than what you showed?
No, that was about it. I have more, but those are the only documented ones.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
yeah,
but
my mom was very much on the train of throw away things.
ah,
Yeah, she like the only reason I have my the picture that my dad my the acrylic painting is because apparently my dad took it with him when when my parents divorced, and it's like it's so funny. It's like, really? Like, what a it's very interesting. There's not very many, like, you couldn't really take very many things, and this painting is not that good, but I'm glad he took it.
he believed in you.
I know it was it was funny too because my parents put me into an art class for the weekends, and apparently now I think back, and it was probably pretty expensive. But they got so mad at me because I only painted cats. I like literally painted cats for like 6 months, every single week. And I was like, "What is your problem?" And so they finally got me a cat. And I stopped painting them. His name was Milo. He was orange.
Aw, amazing. Oh yeah, but to answer your question, yeah, I went to art school. I went to the local art college here in Toronto, called OCAD, and I went for the illustration program. But honestly, I think most of my learning came after I graduated, and I just there's no resources around me anymore, so I just go to YouTube, and just find what I like to look at. So I found stuff like James Gurney, Proco, Bobby Chu, and I just watched their videos and just did the stuff they were talking about, and that's where I improved the most. That's the time when I really started to learn.
Bobby Chu, he's the one who does schoolism, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, I have to say I really enjoy my schoolism subscription because it's like it's nice to have, if I'm really trying to learn something, they have so many classes on there to look at. Um, there's usually something to cover what I'm trying to learn.
Yeah, for sure. The Nathan Faust landscape class, I learned a lot about plein air painting there. The Dyson Robert class, learned a lot. That's where most of my color and light knowledge comes from. Yeah, great stuff on there.
Yeah. Yeah, and they even have like traditional stuff because I did the Carcamo watercolor workout, and that was pretty cool. Afterwards, I became an expert.
Whoa.
Really, yeah, I was. No, I'm not. But I did learn a lot. I did learn a lot. Um, cool though. Yeah. So you feel like things like art school, not art schools, like art, I don't know, classes, kind of like Warrior Art Camp and or like online videos like Proco and Schoolism. Are those really kind of the way to go? It is it is it hard not having the accountability the way that school has so much accountability, like grades, that kind of thing?
I mean, the Warrior Art Camp classes, you can just like find a classmate to be your accountability buddy, and if you
That's
don't
true.
if you don't do your homework, you can set up like consequences for yourself.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I mean, we did have that chat when we took Gia's class where we all kind of talked about what stuff we were doing. So that was kind of nice um having other people going through the same thing.
Yeah, for sure. Uh, I remember that one week where Gia showed us her the what is it, the tinfoil
Oh
tinfoil
gosh.
painting. Then
Yeah.
we all got excited and
Yeah, I
started.
ended up not doing tinfoil because I was like, oh my gosh, now I started doing it and I was like, I literally got like stage fright. Like I was like, oh, I can't do this. Why did I think that as I am, could ever do tinfoil? I guess I should do it now just to do it, just to, feel like I can tackle something like that.
You can do it. I believe in you.
um, Reverie Addict says, BT dubs, Ahmed Aldori's Meds Map is a great course for fundamentals too. Learned a lot from it. All right, that's cool. Thanks.
Yeah, thanks, Ravi. Yeah, but as you can see, I use very few tools. I can just do the whole painting with a mouse or something with rectangle tool, and I'll just go in and clean up at the end with like the draw brush or the line tool.
Yeah, I always think it's interesting looking at people's work who are, really good at the craft because you guys are able to indicate things and make things read really well without actually having to draw it out. Like a lot of times I find myself, leaning on the crutch of basically, coloring things in. and like putting more details so that it can kind of look like what I'm trying to make. But what really always impresses me is when you can show a car in 2 strokes.
Mm.
And I think that's really cool when the way you guys are able to show it. So how is I know it takes a lot of practice to get better. How did you like that 365-day challenge? Was that valuable for you, or do you think you would have been able to accomplish that level of learning just on your like without forcing yourself to do it every day?
For sure, that was like probably the most. That was when I was the most proud of myself like ever. Probably like I would finish a day of work. Like I would do like 8 hours of painting at work. I work as a background painter. I would do yeah, I would do a bunch of paintings at work. Then after work, I still have this challenge to do. So I'm about to pass out, but I just crank out a painting. Like even if it's really bad, I just do one and post it. And it's that consistent practice for a year. Uh, like it built a lot of like good habits and skills. Yeah, so I would recommend trying it out, the challenge.
Yeah, I feel like 1 month is about my limit. It feels like I end up, I applaud you. Despite kind of painting every day, I don't know if I couldn't take that level of commitment, which is kind of weird because I'm married and stuff. But like taking a commitment to to do that every day, it's really commendable.
Thank you, thank you.
Uh, Reverie Addict says that was insane, man.
Thanks, Revy.
Indeed, it was. Uh, Reverie Addict asks, how do you guys deal with burnout?
Uh, Take a break, go do something else, and it'll probably feed back into like your passion for art. Like when I get really burnt out, I don't want to draw anymore. I'm trying to learn the guitar, so I would just like look out the window and just practice guitar. And after like practicing for a while, I feel like doing art again. So just having something else that you do, or like going on hikes, being inspired by nature. That's always great.
Personally, I like to. I can't really like go hiking and stuff, but I do like to switch up my mediums. Actually,
Mm,
uh,
yeah.
I I feel that even just switching mediums, it's enough of a difference to feel like I'm doing something different. And it's funny because it actually makes me, appreciate the mediums that I was having troubles in much more. Like I've been doing a lot of gouache and I'm in the oil class. And now, like whenever I pick up watercolor, I'm like, watercolor is the best. Watercolor is awesome, and watercolor is the coolest. And fight me.
uh, you're very
Yeah.
brave saying that with two of your teachers here in the voice chat.
I know, I know. Sorry, AB. Sorry, Gia. Watercolor is my first love, and I will always love it. No, it's really it's cool. I think it's really cool how like being able to learn other mediums is it's such a privilege to like be able to experience things in all different ways. Gia's laughing at me. Uh, Reverie says, but you did it every day for a year. How? Um, I mean, I remember Linden is so. I'll answer this for Linden. Linden is the most stubborn person I know. And like it's he's definitely uh easier to motivate Linden by telling him he can't do something than anyone else I know. That's really cool.
Oh, another thing I do to kind of like separate doing art at work and doing art for fun is, so at work I have like a really nice 24-inch Cintiq, and it's like I think it's like the best way to work. But after work, I I switched to my old Intuos tablet with no screen, and I have a different stylus with a different grip on it. So like physically in my hand, it feels different. So, and like that tricks my brain into thinking, oh, this isn't work. It's something else. I'm doing something else after work.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I noticed that a lot of people who work in the animation industry do, I mean, their passion was art. That's how they, ended up there. But it does feel like a lot of people, their hobby is traditional art, you know, so that it separates. Um, yeah. Both Amy and Gia talked to me in the chat. Sorry, guys. I do love watercolor, but I definitely gained an even bigger appreciation for oil. And Gia says I have to do a foil painting now.
Do it.
Yeah, it was funny. When I was considering doing the foil painting, this is kind of a weird story. We were in the 5x5s, and I was talking to someone about it, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm about to. I think I might paint with foil, using foil this week, right?" And I realized now that like the way that I said it seemed wrong, but someone was in the chat. This British guy named a guy draws. I think I don't know if he's here, but he said like foil, like what's that about? Like you paint with foil? Is that like what is that? Like, and I was like, like foil. And he's like, yeah, but like why would you paint with that? And I'm like, oh no, I'm not painting with it. I'm like painting it. He's like, but I mean, what's that about? And I was like, and then he said, what is that? You know? And I said, and I feel so bad because I stopped and I really thought about it. There's like a long pause, and I said, like foil is like uh, aluminium.
Oh.
He says, I know what foil is.
Oh my.
We're like, sorry, I didn't know if you knew what I was talking about.
Oh, I thought
He
that's
kept
not where
asking.
the story.
No, and then I was like, oh no, and then he's like, wait, how do you say it? I was like, I was just trying to make sure that I wasn't saying something you didn't know because you're British. He's like,
Wow.
I was like, aluminum. It's aluminum, and he tried to say it. He's like, that's so weird. And Anna is asking me what foil is. Well, foil is aluminium, Anna. It's the same thing. Um, yes, or aluminum. Yeah. Oh, I see. Gia says I have to do the foil painting in gouache. And Amy says we're doing a foil in oil class now for the last 3 weeks. Okay, excellent. That's excellent. I blame Linden for this. Um,
You're welcome.
thanks. Oh, foil oil class, says Anna. Funny. Uh, yeah.
Oh, also, I got bored, so I'm just painting on one layer now on top of my notepad.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm pretty
So,
confident that I won't ruin my value structure, so I feel pretty good
about
going
putting
into it.
details in.
Yeah.
So, how do you decide when something is done. Someone actually asked me that in chat earlier today. They were doing a character design and they said, how do I know if I'm done or not? And I was a little bit at a loss, like I was like, well, it depends on you, right? Like it's like, how do you, like, I can't tell you how to decide, but how do you personally decide a painting is done?
I have a really short attention span, so I would zoom out like this and think, oh, this is probably the size. Someone will look at it on Instagram, and like if it looks good at this size, then it's done. They don't need to zoom in. I don't. I used to think like I wanted to be a Riot game splash artist. Then I heard about like how much time they spend on each painting, and I'm like, no thanks.
Yeah, it's like weeks, right?
It's a month on one painting.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. I feel like I'm kind of like you in that like if I stare at anything for too long, it stops having any meaning to me.
Yeah,
And I just have to move on.
for sure. I'm
Rebby
with you.
says deadline is your friend. True. But yeah, that's part of the reason why oil is so difficult for me because obviously you have to it forces you to slow down, and think about things a little bit because you can't move on until you do.
Man, this no undo. I need to think more about my strokes.
Gia says your painting looks great zoomed in
Oh,
as
thanks.
well. Yeah. Yeah. Just to let you guys know, like if you're ever in a class with Linden, he is the teacher's pet.
What?
Dude. Okay, so remember that first week when we were all doing the studies and we were supposed to do at least one study. So I thought I was being like a huge tryhard, so I did like 4 studies, and then you came in and you had 8, and I kind of just
Okay.
I tossed my papers up and I said, okay, I'm done.
Okay. To be honest, I did 4.
Uh-huh.
I did 4 to start with. Then I was happy with that number. Then I looked on the group Discord, and Julia did like 2 pages and like had 6 on each page. I'm like, that's so it's gonna be like that, huh?
I know. I thought I was keeping up for a while there, but then once it hit over 4, I was like, you know what? I'm okay being a slacker with my 4 paintings.
Yeah, so for sure being in a actual classmates is great for motivation, at least for me.
True. That's true. Yeah, and I think like most of the people in the class were pretty, even though Gia was so kind and was like, I know you guys can be busy, be like you only have to have one painting or whatever. Pretty much everyone won't painted more than one thing every week. So poor Gia had to look at all those paintings.
Yeah, thanks, Gia. Oh, and Gia is a teacher that goes above and beyond. Most of my teachers, they would just most of the time they just do do a few lines over our homework, just point stuff out. Gia would take your reference and repaint the whole thing to show the how show us how it's done.
Well, a lot of times she's also very cognizant of like people's decisions to do certain things too. So a lot of times she'll be like, this is how I would do it, how I would make this decision, which I thought was really interesting. But yeah, I loved every one of Gia's decisions.
Yeah.
So it was really cool. Oh, and Gia says you're welcome. Yeah, I hope some people in here will, you know, feel inspired to take Gia's class, which, as I said, is going to be. And I'm really not saying this as a shill. I'm not paid for this or anything. I really, really enjoyed Gia's class, and obviously, like um, I'm told I've improved a lot. So her class, she's doing another one in May, and it opens up on Monday. And last time the class sold out in 2 minutes.
Yeah.
So if I were you and you wanted to take the class, I would have the page loaded up and click the buy button right at noon. So because I was worried I wouldn't get it.
I think I was the last person to get it. I got so lucky.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember that because I was telling Angela you got in, and she was like, "What? I don't see his name on here." And I was like, "What?" So I think you were just, it was just like taking a little bit for your email to come through.
And Gia is actually teaching 2 classes coming up instead of just
Oh.
one.
Oh, wow. Nice. I did not realize that. Oh, and that sounded like Stephanie, who was our camp helper. Was it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was me.
Hi, Stephanie.
Hi,
And
Stephanie.
Stephanie was the camp helper in our
Hello.
class. She too is a little bit of a try hard, but
Yep.
I loved it. It was really great. It's really inspiring for me to see people who work really hard, because it's like my natural instinct is to be lazy, and I would love to be. I mean, like I am a lazy person. So like seeing other people, but the thing is, seeing other people work makes me want to work too. So then I think being on Warrior Painters and doing Warrior Art Camp, it's definitely very inspiring.
Yeah, for sure.
Kelsey says, "Team try hard." Yeah, Kelsey also try hard. There's a lot of try hard people here. I love it. It's although according to Angela, I'm a try hard, but I don't know. I think I'm pretty like I like to be lazy. Uh, but I do like to like I it's one of those things I like to be at least the bare minimum. So I'll do at least what the person who's doing the least amount will do. Kelsey says that's being an effective tryhard. Okay. So you're just going in and kind of finessing your colors right now?
Yeah, just adding more color variations, more deliberate, less like random color jitter. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty cool that you're like manually doing color jitter. I remember the first time I opened Heavy Paint, I didn't know what color jitter was. This was before Warrior Painters was even a Discord. I downloaded it because Larry posted it on his. Larry is one of the admins of Warrior Painters. Larry posted it on his Facebook, and I was like, oh, you know, his friend made this. I should try it. I tried it. I was so angry. I was like, none of the colors I'm putting down are the color that I chose. Like I chose a color to use that color, and it's coming out all different colors. Turns out it's like color jitter started out all the way up, but I had no idea. So I just got angry and stopped. It wasn't until Warrior Painters became a Discord and I was able to watch a couple of the demos that I realized, oh, okay, there's more to heavy paint than giving me wrong colors all the time. And really, it was like max. It was max. So it was like value jitter,
Oh
like
man.
a temperature jitter, like all at once. I was painting something purple and green was popping up. I was like so upset. But man, I have to say though, since because I know there are a lot of new people here, but when I was fortunate enough to get on the server right after it started, and I mean, like everyone who is still here has really um like I don't know, gone really far, I guess, with their art. I think it's so cool watching people work hard and be tryhards and then get I mean when we first started Warrior Painters, you did not work in the industry yet, right? You were um I think you mentioned that like heavy paint got you your job.
Yeah. So uh I think beginning of the pandemic, um so 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 I was finishing up a brainstorm term in LA, and then the pandemic happened, and we got the first wave of lockdown. We were like week I think 7 or 8 out of 10 in the class, and I felt like I was just starting to really like make friends and uh, make all this progress in my art. Then I pretty much had to evacuate the country because I was scared that I was going to be stuck in the States with no healthcare. So I had to leave my class before I finished up. And yeah, and yeah, I was really down about it, but then like found this Discord, found this community, and it was just a great time in the beginning. Like everybody just hopped into the
Yeah.
voice chat and they painted together every day, and
Yeah.
it was at that time I wanted to try out the year-long challenge. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, I'm gonna do this for a year, and at the end of the year, I'm gonna be hireable. Then I did the challenge, and I think like day 70 into the challenge, I got my first job, and I was already so deep in, so I didn't want to stop, so I just
Yeah.
kept doing the challenge. But every job that I had, I usually near the end I ask them like, hey, how'd you find me? And they always say, oh, we saw your Instagram and we saw like the heavy paints you were doing, and we were really impressed. And yeah, never would have happened without heavy paint. It's just the app makes me feel so uh, like there's no when I use heavy paint, there's like no pressure. If it doesn't, okay, at the time, heavy paint was really crude. So if if I do a bad painting, it's not my fault. It's the app's fault.
Yeah, I mean also, yeah, like so for those of you who are just getting into this, if you try to do things all on one layer and all using hard mode, it'll definitely make things a lot easier. At least what was that? Say something? Okay. And it says she's gonna tell Vaughn.
Oh, I mean, I'm sure I've already told him this before. But
Yeah,
heavy paint is great now. It's got so
yeah,
many
it is. It
features.
is.
It's really powerful. He can uh, Vaughn and Angela, they made a full like frame by frame animation together using heavy paint.
Yeah,
It's
that
a
was really
commercial for
cool.
Gumroad. Check it out. It's really cool. Uh, yeah,
Yeah,
heavy paint is really powerful now.
yeah, it is. Yeah, it's fun. It's been fun seeing everyone grow.
Yeah, like you said, I saw so many people get their first art job who are like regulars here
Yep.
during like this pandemic, and
Yeah. It always made me kind of feel bad. The fact that like, and this is, I mean, like, I feel like the pandemic, really kind of helped me, right? Like,
mm,
because I made so many good friends right here on Warrior Painters, and um, it's like without the pandemic, I wouldn't have met you guys. So it
yeah,
was weirdly good. And since the pandemic was such a kind of traumatic situation, it was as if we were all going through all of that together. So we actually got really close, I think.
mm.
Uh, but yeah.
Yeah, it's so awesome. There's so many international people from all over the world in this
Yeah,
community. I feel like I can travel to any country and I would have no problem finding a paint buddy because I probably talked to someone before on this Discord from that area.
that's true. Like even just earlier today, I met someone from Serbia.
Cool.
Yeah, I was like, you are the first. Maybe you can start Warrior Painters Serbia, like,
Yeah,
that's cool.
my dream for this community is like there would be a chapter of warrior painters in every country, every city. I'm trying to start things up in Toronto. We're making good progress.
Yeah,
A lot of people showed up in recent days for Plein Airport.
I
Plein
know your
airs.
group is getting big, dude.
Yeah. So
Like,
I want something like this everywhere. I mean, you can start the Vegas one, Kim.
I could if I liked people.
Okay.
No, oh, Mina says, "Who here is from Serbia?" Mina, it's you. I was talking about you. Sorry, Mina. You are the first person. No, it's um, yeah. I hope. I mean, I hope eventually we'll meet other people from Serbia. But I really have met people from pretty much everywhere on here. So eventually. Oh, Anna says Boston has gone from 2 to 4.
Whoa, double
That's
the
awesome.
members in 2 months.
Nice. Oh, look at that. Someone said, "Hey, I'm in the Boston area too." Look at that. Like
Wow.
this, your thing is helping Boston wear painters. But no, yeah, I am in Vegas. And if you are in Vegas, I'm down to paint usually. So just everyone here is welcome to DM me if you're in Vegas. And also, if you do go to Vegas and you want food recommendations, feel free to ask me because I have a spreadsheet that I made of
Wow.
places to recommend, and I am always willing to send out that spreadsheet. So, yeah. I guess Boston has a big following in your demo right now, Linden.
Whoa. Are they all Harvard
Yeah.
students?
It looks like Anna might have 6 in her group now.
Whoa.
Amazing, amazing. I mean, I went to visit Harvard. That was pretty cool. I got to see Anna playing violin in the Harvard Asian rendition of Legally Blonde. It was really
Nice.
good, and it was fun watching Anna be you know I mean, I guess she was first violin. I think she might have been the only violin too, but that's still first violin. So that was pretty cool. And someone else from the server named Kaloy. He was the person who waves the baton. What is that conductor?
You mean Kalos?
Kalos. That's right. Was it Kalos? Dang it!
I'm like,
I always
wow.
mix up their names. Yes, sorry. No, Kalos. Sorry,
Kaloy's here
Kalos.
in Toronto. I'm like, wow, he goes to Harvard too.
I'm sorry, Kaloy and Kalos. You know what? I'm just not gonna start say people's names. Because I'm stupid. sorry, Anna. Rip. Okay, guys. I'm a terrible person. They're pretty much the same person in my head. Just kidding. I just know that there's a K person whose name starts with a K who's in Toronto, and a person whose name starts with a K that is in Boston, and that's I'm yeah. Anyways, I should just stop talking. I'll just get myself into more trouble. Everyone's just
Yeah, you really dug yourself a hole there, Kim.
oh dang it! Oh gosh, they're here. Hi, hi, Alvin. Was that Alvin?
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep digging. I'm gonna keep digging so much harder. Oh, Heavy Poly wants to know if there's MIT warrior painters.
Whoa.
Probably are. I wonder if they are. I mean, it's not really known for artistic people, but maybe, huh? They paint in code. Anna says she has MIT friends, but they're not painters. They paint in code and econ. Okay.
Oh, since Vaughn's here, I wanna tell the story of how I started using the RGB slider. So I was a big fan of the HSV slider before. I thought it was the best way to work. Then Vaughn saw me paint one day on stream, and he told me that the HSV slider was for babies. Then
I remember that a lot of people use it. I think what was it? I remember Vaughn said something similar in his trash bag demo too. he said, "Oh yeah, I mean you can use the HSV slider, but like that's for toddlers."
yeah. Yeah, but I'm really grateful. I'm really grateful he said that to me. That I started using RGB slider, and I'm like, oh, this is actually so much better. So thank you, Vaughn.
Yeah. And
I guess I'm still a baby then.
you know what, Alvin? I'm a baby too, but for like different reasons. It's I was a web developer for like 18 years, and so RGB hex codes are RGB as well, and so I already think of color in hex codes, and whenever I'm like pulling the sliders on the RGB one, I'm thinking about the hex codes, and it's just like it's like working. And I'm like, no, I don't want to work if I'm painting. I want to paint. But yeah, no. But you know what, Alvin, you're doing it. You don't need it. Your stuff looks great.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah. I've been liking your paintings. Like they're very kind of like minimalistic recently. And I like it.
Oh, because they were.
Oh, well, I mean, I was just saying earlier, I always really admire people who can make things look like the things they want them to look like, with little detail, because that's a hard, like, I find that I I keep adding detail, um, to make it more readable, and that's not really the way to go.
Yeah, details are just the sprinkles on top.
Yeah.
The dib dabs.
Dib dabs.
ENTPs don't care about details.
You know what, Alvin? I'm an ENFJ, so although according to Caroline, I'm a fake F, so Erica
That
said
stands
this
for.
painting looks great, Linden. Thanks
Thank
for the
you.
heavy paint demo.
Thank you. Okay, I'm
You were
gonna
saying, Alvin?
I was just saying that's what the F stands for.
fake.
Fake. Yeah, no. Caroline says that because I am a little bit of a I'm when I took the test, we're talking about MBTI test. It said that I was 51% F and 49% T. And Caroline said, you know, like people who are Fs have a much more like kind of like tenderness to them that you don't have. And I'm like,
Wow.
well, yeah, I don't. That's true.
Dang.
Nice.
Okay, so I'm zooming out, and this looks about done, and I'm getting my low attention span is I'm feeling it now. So I'm
I
just
mean,
gonna call this
you've been
done.
at this. You've been at this for almost an hour and a half, so
Okay.
that's great.
Yeah. So thanks everyone for coming to the demo. If you painted along, post your paintings in special events chat or finished painting chat or work in progress, and yeah, I would love to see it.
All right, guys, thank you. And how do I have to stop the event?
I don't. I think I just stopped streaming, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, all right.
Yeah. But thanks everyone. Happy painting.